Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Your Biz. Seth here, and of course we're back with another creator profile. This one's a little bit different, and it's going to be a throwback for those of you who've been watching the Mind Your Biz channel for some time. Obviously, you're going to recognize Nicole Grinstead, aka NrdGrl without the vowels 007, aka the head publicist, writer, strategy. You do wear a lot of hats at Lunar Digital Assets, aka pretty much marketeer wunderkind. I don't know that I've been privileged to work with anybody who's quite as talented and hardworking as you in that space. Nicole, welcome.
Thanks, Seth. That's really nice. So I'm the Chief Communications Officer of Lunar Digital Assets.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for setting the record straight. I wasn't sure what the official title was. I just know how many hats you wear. And so I wouldn't be shocked if you said like, oh yeah, actually I've got this other executive title too. It'd be like, oh, that figures, right? You do a lot around there. So that's amazing. But I know that for the benefit of the audience, anybody who doesn't know, Nicole and I, for a short time, about a quarter, I guess, one full quarter, that we did a weekly show on Mondays, and then started to do a Scam Buster Saturdays episode where we would dissect various different projects, and that's a lot of really fun stuff. And if you're watching Mind Your Biz right now, you might see some replays that have been edited from some of that media, especially in particular our interview with the head developer of Zano, a privacy project. This is kind of a very critical time for privacy-oriented projects, so we're digging up some of the archives. You're going to see some of that stuff come back. You're going to see this face again. But Nicole, since that time, so much has come up, and there are people who maybe don't know what you did before you got into crypto at all and started producing any media or getting into marketing at all. So before we go there, who is Nicole in, say, a nutshell, 30 seconds?
Okay, Nicole before crypto. So I am a former academic. I like to say like a recovering academic. My specialty was in religious studies, and I was studying rogue implementations of Sharia law for crimes of apostasy in rural Iran.
That is specific, but I guess that's how you get to sort of the better understandings, right? More specific.
Well, so yeah, if you get a PhD, you become the world's leading expert in a topic, and your topic focus has to be extremely specific because, otherwise there would be so many people who are the expert in this thing.
Makes sense. Okay, so now as the world's leading expert in rogue elements of Sharia law, I totally butchered it already.
Implementations of Sharia law for crimes of apostasy in rural Iran, and I'm not the world's leading expert. I might be, but I did not finish that PhD program.
Okay, fair enough. So basically, all the work you did just ceases to exist. Then is what you're saying because you
It does.
Because the school didn't give you the piece of paper. Noted.
Yeah, I quit.
Okay, well, I mean, for my part, selfishly, I'm glad you did. We might not have met had you continued along the academic path and gotten into cryptocurrency. I know that our interactions, the media we worked on together, and the stuff that we've done together, I felt extremely fortunate to be able to work on with you. But let's talk about so not your entry into crypto, but let's talk about before coming into crypto, before you were becoming acquainted with all of the first lessons, and everybody always says like the instigating incident, the thing that actually got them really involved. You were doing that PhD program. What else was kind of like typical of Nicole Grinstead? What kinds of things did you do that sort of prepped you for that foray into crypto?
Well, I mean, so I'm a recovering academic, right? So I read a lot and wrote a lot. And I guess you could say that I came in with a very, very much aware of the fact that I couldn't trust any government in the world, and that I had figured that out from living overseas and seeing how manipulated things are from different perspectives.
Got it. And so not just within the rogue elements of Sharia law as it relates to apostasy in rural Iran, but just broadly across Iran and perhaps broadly within Sharia law, that helped really open your eyes then to potential government abuse and tribal abuse, I guess, within communities and things?
Yeah, so it wasn't even just necessarily having to do specifically with Iran, but it was just having lived in Iran and other places in the Middle East and, other places in the world that I recognized that our media was so manipulated and that their media was so manipulated. And I don't know, all like the common threads there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that does sound like a perfect storm for being able to navigate crypto. Now that you mentioned that, you see through some of the media manipulation. That's awesome. Well, let's fast forward a little bit closer to today. What was sort of the point of no return for you when after you'd already gotten involved in crypto and after you've kind of really gotten a taste of your first successes and started to build on them and gotten proof for yourself? What was that point at which it just hit critical mass and you decided, yeah, there's obviously no other thing for me professionally or maybe personally as an investor? Like, how did that look for you?
Yeah, so it was actually shortly after I had first invested, I started to see the elements of cryptocurrency, that I could see the underpinnings of the theoretical framework that had framed my dissertation. So I was like, oh, I could actually apply the theoretical framework that I abandoned, that I spent years developing and abandoned, to my understanding of cryptocurrency. And, then I didn't waste years of my life.
Awesome. Okay, so that's great. So you found immediately a thread you could latch onto, and I can say, like, personally witnessing some of that, like a little bit behind the scenes, and then of course very publicly, like you're a very public person in crypto now. Your wins, some of them are very, very public, and you've done great with that sensibility. On that note, let's talk about some of the things that for you have felt like milestones since you got to that point of saying, like, all right, I've got to be all in because this all makes sense to me. What have been some milestones for you that you kind of felt like, all right, these are growth points. These are some of those confirmations, right? Like this is sort of decision affirming experience that's going to help lock me in for sure. Like, what are those milestones? Like, when did they happen for you, and how did those look for you?
So I think it was in 2019 that it was like January or February of 2019 that I had decided that I didn't want to just study crypto and try to talk to people as some outsider. I actually wanted to get a job in crypto because I wanted to have access to people and information that maybe just an average bystander doesn't get access to. So I applied for my first crypto job, and it was a crypto journalism job with CCN, and I got the first job that I applied for. So I think that I was like, yes,
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, I think that probably speaks to your preparedness at that time, walking into that interview with the ability, not only confidence, but with the ability to have that really strong work ethic and writing capacity. Like, I've personally done recently, we did a pair article where I could have swore I saw you grind out 800, 1,000 words in a sitting, just like it was nothing. Very well formatted. So that's not a shock to me that you got the first thing that you went for with those kinds of skills. But that's milestone kind of number one, then, kind of really getting entrenched into crypto. What's another big milestone and maybe big win that you found along the way, without obviously being too personal from your own investment portfolio or whatever? But what was another milestone that helped you really feel like, yeah, your place in this whole scene was totally solidified?
Yeah, so I would say that when I realized that I was right, that Hex was not a scam. That was the biggest relief point that I have ever felt, because everyone was saying that it had to be, and I was even nervous that it had to be, but I was like, but I really don't think it is, and I really think this is real. So I just had to go with what I thought instead of what everyone else thought. But the whole time I was so scared that I could be wrong. And so when it kind of, and I mean, I guess that's still happening because there are still people who, feel that way or think that way. But I think there was a moment when I knew for certain that we had crossed a point of no return. And it was the biggest relief I've ever felt.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, awesome. Yeah. Yeah. From the outside, I know it's a controversial topic. I won't dive too deep here, just for the benefit of the audience, in case you're thinking, I'm going to bounce. She mentioned that one token. please don't. Like I don't think that was the point.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome though. That you did have that validation. Then you took a long bet, and it took you some time, I guess, to validate that. And then clearly the outcome financially has been good. Like you've been happy with that decision. And then from that point until now, what are some other milestones that you feel like within the crypto ecosystem, professionally, and yeah, also with your investing bets and then of course the other investing strategies, right, where they're not like as risky, you feel like. What are some things that have further kind of confirmed that you're definitely on this right path? And yeah, because I feel like there's one more big one that you want to share.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know which one you mean. So like so many amazing things have happened, like there are people with really big names who have agreed to, talk with me or stream with me or let me interview them for, written works. That's been huge. When I applied for the job with Lunar Digital Assets and I got that job, that was a big milestone. Becoming an executive at that company was another one. And then Crypto Mag, which is brand new. I know you and I just wrote something together for them, but I had looked for something that I felt like was truth in media for years and never found something. And honestly, had given up on it, thought I would never find it. And I was just going to have to move on. And, who knows, like time will tell. Right. But when I found that outlet and they read my work and wanted me to come, do a column there, that was a really big moment for me.
Awesome. Okay. Well, there you
Is
have
that
it.
The one that you were thinking of?
I mean, it's not the one I was thinking. I was genuinely asking to see if there's something. Yeah, another big thing. Because I think you're. Frankly, we don't have enough time for us to go over all of the other small wins and milestones that have brought you to this point. Because I know there's quite a few.
Winning around the blockchain the first time I went on the show, that was a big one.
Hey, right? Yeah. No. That's great. I mean, I'm going to say no disrespect to Ben or DZ or BJ or the team. I think that a couple of the other wins are possibly even bigger than that, but that's amazing. Yes, that's awesome. But that's just my take on it. I've seen some of the behind the scenes stuff. I think you're very humble about some of the achievements that you've had, those wins that have been a little more private, or that have been with clients, right? Where it's like, okay, this is in the service of the job and of a client's whatever their contractual needs. So that's pretty amazing too. I mean, yeah, we're also living in a world where people, for a couple of years, were very happy to just quit their jobs and be fed and clothed by the government and not take pride in their work anymore. So you did exactly the opposite. I think doubled down on your bets and on your conviction within cryptocurrency. And I think you've been able to see that pay off in a much bigger way because of that extra work ethic. So, I mean, if that's my observation from the outside, but yeah, I didn't actually invite you on the show just to flatter you the entire time, but it was to try to draw out of you some things that you're proud of. But but let me ask, as far as what you are looking forward to in the future of crypto and your own trajectory in this space, what is something that what's coming next? What are you most excited about that you're working on that you can talk about?
Crypto Mag.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
there's so many things that are going on in my professional life that I'm excited about, right? So I've been running LDA's PR division, which is really fun. I love PR strategy. I'm good at it. It's a natural skill. So I enjoy doing that. And then because of all of my experience with, I don't know, dishonesty in media, finding something that actually has the potential to be what I wanted it to be is the biggest thing for me, at least right now.
Okay, awesome. So getting into this new thing and helping it to be that bit of truth in media that you were looking for, it sounds like, is what you're most excited about. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, and before I let you go, that's amazing, and I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the articles that you've written in Crypto Mag. I know that you wrote a couple that I saw in digital draft, but I got to get my hands on a physical copy because, what a rare treat to have an actual paper in your hand that's talking about crypto.
I know it's going to be so cool. I'm really excited. I was telling someone, I was like, I've always wanted to actually have a print thing. It's something that can't be erased.
Yeah, right. The original censorship resistance, just print out like thousands of copies.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, for the benefit of the audience then too, before I let you go, because we keep these profiles just a little bit on the short side, what's something that you would say to people who are maybe on the outside, maybe just getting more along in their crypto journey, maybe don't have those same levels of confirmation that you've had along your path? What would you say is, a way to push forward, especially since we've seen a lot of awkwardness with the economy? CPI is kind of a joke. The inflation rates are not what we're being told. We know all that stuff is kind of bogus. What's maybe, I guess, a little message of hope and of that you would give to people who are kind of starting out?
Yeah, so I would say if you're just starting out and you're trying to emulate what other people are doing, stop doing that. Figure out what it is that you do best and how to apply that to your knowledge and understanding of cryptocurrency. And that is like your best surefire way to succeed, because you're the only person who could do it exactly like you would.
Awesome. Very, very wise words from a very wise and accomplished person in the crypto industry. Nicole, I really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing what comes out of Crypto Mag with your name on it. I will be on the edge of my seat reading anything that has those two features.
Thank you.
All right. Audience, we'll see you in the next one.
Okay. Bye.